Hey guys, I just got back from my holiday and I thought it was a good time to talk about DIY mining versus cloud mining. So I got back and it's time to start up again my DIY rig. And the comments I'm going to make probably apply to small time miners, but if you're doing on a larger scale than this, then it probably wouldn't really apply a lot to you. So let's talk about the advantages of DIY mining, which is this rig up here. The biggest advantage, of course, is you get these cool graphics cards. If you're a gamer and you like to game, then, well, you can use these for the best graphics pretty much possible. Especially if you rig all of these up, then you're going to be amazed at how cool your games are running. So it's this dual purpose between kind of, getting great gaming performance out of these graphics processors and being able to mine. So that's pretty cool for me anyways. That's how I got started. So another thing about this is that it's a little bit cheaper to build than cloud mining. So if you buy these graphics cards yourself and you set up the rig yourself, obviously there's going to be a lot of time and research. I'm not counting that, but in terms of pure actual costs, you're going to get the base price, right? You're going to get the material costs. Another advantage is that, of course, I get physical products. So with physical products, that means I get to sell them if things don't go well, fingers crossed. But if I want to stop mining at any time, I can just sell these as graphics cards or just use them as myself to play video games. Obviously, this only applies if you can find a good market, a good secondhand market. But eBay's around. That's pretty good. So let's talk about disadvantages. So one of the disadvantages of kind of do-yourself mining is expandability. So right now, I'm at my limits with 3 graphics cards. I have a 1,000 watt power supply right now, but it's quite hard to get another one on top of this rig. So I probably have to buy another one. And I can't just buy another card and plug it in. 3 is the limit for this current power supply. So that's one of the limits. So with cloud mining, you can expand and grow your mining operation anytime you want. But with here, you can't do that. Another thing is, this is actually not switched on, but it's just the noise. Once this thing starts up, this is like a jet engine. You got to put it somewhere that is quite far away from kind of your sleeping, your bedroom, and your living room. Otherwise, it will kind of be a little bit noisy. On top of that, I did turn this rig off when I was on holiday, and that's because I don't want anything bad to happen whilst it's away. It does generate a bit of heat, and the power supplies are known to fail. So if you're leaving or whatnot, then you actually do want people to actually monitor this. So that's the thing with cloud mining. They actually have server maintenance guys to actually run around and maintain things for you and keep it up 24 hours. Here you're gonna have to do it yourself. But it's fun, I guess. So those are the kind of the biggest advantages and disadvantages of DIY mining. And of course, with cloud mining, let's talk about that in a sec. So let's talk about cloud mining. So with cloud mining, one of the biggest advantages is that it's carefree. So everything that's related to mining, you don't have to do. All right, so you don't have to build everything. You don't have to combine it. You don't have to maintain the software, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do my upgrades. I'm going to do pretty much just looking through everything and making sure everything's good. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to upgrade your Windows. You don't have to upgrade your mining software. It's all done for you and it's carefree. So that's kind of huge if you're not into tech and you don't want to bother with this. I mean, I'm spending tons of time onto this, doing this for my own DIY rig. And if you find it fun, great. If you don't find it fun, it's not for you. Definitely not for you. Another thing about cloud mining is, of course, the expandability aspect. You can purchase in whatever blocks you want. So that means you can invest whenever you want, and you're not really limited by kind of space or electricity costs or kind of your power supply. So, you can expand, you can grow every week if you have the money to do so, which I see quite a lot of people doing, and that's kind of cool. And I've been doing that before, and I'm doing that now as well. So another thing great about cloud mining, of course, is that it's a little bit easier on math. You don't have to factor in electricity costs. In Hong Kong right now, they have tiered electricity costs, which means that the cost will grow as you consume more power. So you always have to factor that in, especially considering right now it's getting a little bit warmer. I'm turning on the air conditioner a bit more. So, you want to make sure that you're within good limits and the country that you're in has cheap power. Otherwise, you're not going to make a good profit out of it. And of course, the last thing is the heat. This thing is 1,000 watts, which means you're going to generate 1,000 watts. It's a 1,000 watt heater. It was really great during the winter because during the winter I can kind of use this as a heat source. But right now it's entering summer, so if this is generating heat and I need to turn on the air conditioner to fight off that heat, that really doesn't make that much sense. So if you have a kind of a basement or whatnot, then you can put it there. But then if I'm not monitoring it, I do feel like it should be kind of monitored because it's 1,000 watts and you don't want to be leaving that on 24 hours without monitoring. So it's a little bit of a hassle if you're actually doing DIY mining and you're not. For cloud mining, of course, everything's just taken care of for you. So obviously these things are not mutually exclusive. I have both, so I actually have my own DIY miner and I have quite a lot of Genesis mining contracts. Why not? Try both, see what works for you. And right now, I'm definitely favoring cloud mining, mostly just because this rig's full and I definitely don't want to build a second rig up at this moment. It's just too much space, too much energy. So I'm pretty much going back to investing with cloud. The only downside of cloud is that you got to do your math beforehand. You got to calculate a little bit more what your return on investment is. And I do have quite a few guides on boxmining.com if you guys want to check that out. So what are you guys' comments? Do you guys own DIY rigs yourself? Have you guys had trouble building them? Right now this is pretty much as ugly as it can get, but it's a rig. So yeah, do you guys have your own rigs? Do you own Genesis Mining? What are your thoughts about this?